Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to today's daily antidote of song. So glad to see all of you jumping in the room today for another beautiful day of singing together. And boy, do I see a lot of faces here in this space. And also, for sure, I see a lot of spaces in the Carpe Diem Arts space over there. Everybody wave to that great square. That is a lot of folks. Very fun. Okay. So we're going to get started today. This is the Daily Antidote of Song. We are on day, I think, 1,920 consecutive days of singing. And we're really glad that you joined us for this one. And I want to shout out Carpe Diem Arts, organization that keeps this program going day after 1,920 days. And also going to shout out Kevin in New Hampshire, who did, in fact, put my day number in his box there. Thank you, Kevin, for the cue. All right. And it looks like we need to say hello to everybody. I'm Jo Rossi. I'm the director of Daily Antidote of Song. So glad that you've joined us today, whether you're new or you've been coming forever and a day. We are always glad to see your smiling faces. And for the folks out there on YouTube, we're really glad you're with us too. We can't see you, but we know you're there and we hear you in our hearts. So thanks for joining us today. We are in the middle of another week of singing for July. We've got a really amazing month coming up, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get near the end. For now, let's say hi. All right, so help me, everybody, wave to YouTube. Hey, YouTube, we're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. And now let's say hi to everybody who's joining us today. So we've got Elise Bryant, our song leader for the day, coming in from Maryland. Everybody, please give it up for Elise. Let's thank Candace, coming in from Los Angeles, running our tech today. Thank you, Candace. Hello to Arlene in Berkeley, California. Athena, coming in from Brooklyn, also reminding me it's day 1,920. Hello to Annette in California. Diana, coming in from Victoria, British Columbia. Busy Graham and the Carpe Diem Arts Camp coming in from the Eastern Shore. Everybody wave to that square. We're going to hear from them in a little bit. Hello to Hoda in British Columbia. Hello to Susan in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nan coming in from Michigan. Deli coming in from Maryland. Ann, also Maryland. Sydney in San Francisco. Hello to Susan coming in from Tacoma Park. Hi to Kevin coming in from New Hampshire. Kathleen in Albuquerque. Bonnie in Boise, Idaho. Hello to Sonia, maybe new to us today. I don't know. Nice to see you today. Glad you're here. Hello to Sylvia, also coming in. Silva coming in from Tacoma Park. Sue in Seattle, Washington. Aloysius in Massachusetts. And let's see who else. Baba Jim coming in from Maryland, one of our regular song leaders in here. Laris in the UK. Nice to see you. Glad you're with us today. I see Storm coming in from Massachusetts. We've got Bob coming in from Albany, New York. Ruth and Clive coming in from Birmingham, UK. Great to see you today. Fred in Silver Spring, Maryland. Hello to Karen coming in from Oregon. Hello to Lucy Murphy. Great to see you. We haven't seen Lucy in ages. She sang with us once before. I think we should have you come back. Nancy in Washington State. Carolyn coming in from Boise, Idaho, also with a 1920 cue card. Thank you, Carolyn. Let's all take a deep breath. Hello to Kathy in California, and hello to Linda Buena in Massachusetts. Diane is coming in from Puerto Rico. Nice to see you today. Kat in Vermont. We've got a bunch of folks off camera today. Kachina coming in from Vermont. Sarah coming in from, I think, Connecticut. Hello, Lynn. I'm not sure where you're from, but glad you're here today. Jen, I think it's Maryland. Jenny in Suffolk, UK. Lynn in Connecticut. Maggie coming in from San Ramon, California. Gary in Massachusetts. Caroline in DC. One more deep breath, everybody. Yeah, okay. So I do want to just take a moment to begin with a question, which is, Elise Bryant, do you happen to be celebrating a birthday today?
Why, as a matter of fact, Jo, I am.
Everybody wish Elise Bryant a happy birthday. So we are so excited, Elise, that you're singing with us on your birthday and that we are going to be singing with you and to you in our hearts and our silent little squares. So I know you've got a great song for today. We'd love to learn the chorus. If you could sing it through once, then let us sing it with you. Then we'll sing the song and then we'll get some chatting in.
Okay, the song is Let Me Make Peace by Lester Dore and Steve Deasy, who I just saw at the Great Labor Arts Exchange a couple of weeks ago, and I was reminded of this song, and I said, oh, I got to sing this. So the chorus goes, so let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. Uh-oh, started too high. I got to go a little lower here. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember, everyone I meet is heaven sent. Hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. let me make peace.
That is really beautiful and couldn't be a better sentiment for today's times. And I would love it if you'd sing that chorus through once more. Let us sing it with you. And just a little reminder. So we were having a little bit of tech trouble today, which is not unusual in the Zoomiverse universe. So Elise, as staccato as you can. And we would love to sing it with you once.
Okay, I'm not sure what staccato as I can means, Joe, but I'll do
Yeah.
my. Okay. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember, everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace.
That is beautiful.
Did I hold peace too long? Was peace too long?
That was all perfect. We're sounding great. And I am super excited to sing this with you. Is everybody excited to sing this with Elise? These are some words we really need right now. Elise, take it away, and thank you so much.
I'm not afraid of dying of old age or disease, or in some tragic accident that I could not foresee. I'm not afraid that death might mean my life would be cut short, but I'm afraid of dying with hatred in my heart. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember, everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace. I'm not afraid of dying in a mighty hurricane, or to leave before my purpose on this earth has been made plain. I'm not afraid that I'll outlive my family and all my friends, but I am afraid of dying before I make amends. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember, everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace. I'm not afraid of dying before all the world's at peace, though my anger at injustice will always need release. Let me speak truth to power with courage and with grace. And let me die knowing that I made the world a better place. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember that everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace. Let me make peace. Last time. Let me make peace. Thank you, family. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elise Bryant. Super beautiful and much needed healing words and thoughts about what it does to us physically, mentally, as a community, to be walking around with a lot of hate in our hearts. and what it in fact would be like to go out that way. And it's so interesting because I've actually felt sometimes like some real grief about, for example, John Lewis or Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and dying in a time when so much of it seemed like backward steps, right? And yet now that you say that, I understand that they were at peace, right? Like, because they were, yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes it all much easier and much more understandable. And also gives us a little bit of our own personal to-do lists, I think. So, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about the song and a little bit more about how you're feeling and coping in the world right now? And then I've got more questions for you.
Well, I was just visiting with a friend, Evan Papp, just before this, and we were talking about Martin Luther King and what's going on in the world right now, and how do you keep hope and how do you keep faith? And I said, "Have you ever seen the movie At the River I Stand?" I don't know how many of you have seen it, but it's on video. It's out there somewhere. It's At the River I Stand, and it's a documentary about that last day in April when Dr. King was assassinated. It's the night before at the church where he gives that powerful speech. And at the end of it, he turns to sit down. And this is what I was pointing out to Evan when you watch it, is that when he turns to sit down, Dr. King collapses, literally. They have to hold him up. They have to grab him under his arms and hold him and help him sit down in the chair. And he looks like it's over. And I project that in that moment, he knew that the end was coming, that it was near. But he had to say what he had to say. He could not say it for fear of his death. And so, yeah, that there's that moment in that. And as I was thinking about this song, I was thinking, you're singing this song on your birthday, the day you were born, the day you came into the world. But I know that I'm going to go out of this world, and I want to go out of this world with peace in my heart. I want to go out of this world without resentments. I don't care what Donald Trump or any of the rest of them do. I will not let them steal my joy. And as Steve Jones wrote in his song, love is the unstoppable force. It's stronger than hate. And I know that to be true. I know that because I see you. I know you. I know you folks out there. I know I've stood and held hands with you. I've stood at marches with you. I've stood at rallies with you. And that we will keep doing that. We'll keep marching. We'll keep protesting. We'll keep going out there because I can't rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Quoting more songs. But also this song reminds me that I want to let go of anything. I mean, hate is poison. It's like someone said resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. And that's all it does. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't stop ICE from taking people away. It doesn't stop the war in Gaza. It doesn't stop all the madness that's going on in the world for me to hold hate and resentment. I need to work with love and peace in my heart so I can do the work that I've been called to do on the shoulders of the ancestors, of the ones who brought me here. And this is my last story. But George Houston Bass, who was then teaching at, I think, Rutgers University in New Jersey. I met him at a conference, and I was in a class where we were talking about Master Harold and Boys, a play, a South African play, very famous. And I told him I was asked to direct it twice, but I couldn't do it because I couldn't direct a play where at the end of the play, a white man spits in a black man's face. I couldn't sit through that every night. And they said, "Oh, but this is a great play, and you should be honored to be asked to do it." And this was a group of black African American professors from theater, from university, college theater programs. And I walked out of the room and I thought, why are they saying that to me? Why are they telling me that I'm wrong? And I ran into George Houston Bass, and he said, "I want to thank you for what you said in that room." And I said, "What are you talking about?" They were all like mad at me. And he said, "No. These people get together every year. They talk about the same thing over and over. This is the first time we've ever had controversy. This is the first time we've ever had dialogue." And I said, "Thank you." I said, "Well, I'm not sure because I'm not a professor. I don't have a degree. I'm not even sure why I'm here." And he looked at me. He said, "Never question why you're here. You're here because someone stepped off a slave ship, kissed the ground, and willed you to be here. And I'm here at Daily Antidote of Song because the ancestors willed me to be here, because our ancestors dreamed of this day when we would come together, bring our voices together as one. We know that race is a political construct. There's no biological basis for race whatso freaking ever, or otherwise we couldn't turn out little caramel colored human beings. So we know that that's just a political ploy to keep the working class divided. And they've used this before there was race, there was class, and there was caste. But we know that we're all one. And we love one as one. And we work as one. So I let me make peace so that I can do the work that I've been called to do. And I'm grateful. Grateful for daily antidote of song. Because the power of song, you can't, there's nothing else like it in our human existence. Music is the only human activity that happens in both hemispheres of the brain. And song is so powerful that Gabby Gifford was able to restore her speech through being able to sing. Not being able to talk, not being able to say the words, but sing the words, made the neural pathways to her brain regenerate to the speech center. That's the power of song. That's the power of the daily antidote of song. So let us make peace.
Elise Bryant for President of the Universe, everybody. What an incredible speaker. What an incredible thinker. It's amazing the way you bring these things together. And as you were talking, so for folks who don't know, Elise is the director of the DC Labor Chorus. We've got a lot of Labor Chorus folks in the room. Put your hands up and wave and let us know you're here. Elise, you used a term before that while you were talking, like every other sentence, I was like, yeah, and collective effervescence. Yeah, and collective effervescence, because everything you were saying, again, is all tied into that same set of themes that you are talking about here. And and so beautiful. Thank you. Amazing. And super glad to hear from you. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing in the universe? So actually, wait, I'm actually going to take a pause for a minute, because I see that we have the Carpe Diem Arts Summer Camp out the Eastern Shore in the house, and they dropped a minute ago. Which, if you guys are doing anything other than
busy. Hey, Elise, happy birthday. There was a huge shout out here from our Carpe Diem campers. We're actually right here in Tacoma Park, in Marika Park, garage, backyard, deck. These are the 11 to 14 campers who are here for the Arts for Social Change Camp Week. And today was our focus on the labor movements across the ages. We're still keeping alive. And one of our campers has her mom is in the American Teachers Union, Federation of Teachers. And we have Arturo Ho, who is here doing an art class with us. Denise Jones, director, and Peter and Steve Jones were here this morning singing labor songs with us. And
I heard that.
Sharing a lot of stories, including your own family story, which was very powerful. So you have been part of our experience today in a big way, and we're so happy to see you.
Yep, and if I hadn't been at the dentist, I'd have been there with them.
Happy birthday, Elise!
Thank you, family. Mwah.
So absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Busy Graham, Carpe Diem Arts Summer Camp, Arturo, Denise, and all the other folks that were just shouted out over there. I didn't get everybody's name, but we're really glad you've joined us today. And just for kicks, gang, if you've got birthday gear to wish Elise a happy birthday, why don't you go ahead and throw it up right now? We're going to take a screenshot while we've got all these great folks here. And oops, except I got to do one quick undo thing. Okay, got it. All right, so let's go. Throw those birthday things up. We're going to get a screenshot here because we love celebrating birthdays in here. Just another way to remember to stay in our joy. And who wasn't completely over the moon, not only that Elise's ancestors kissed the ground, but also that they kept going long enough to have a little baby Elise, because our world is much improved by her presence. All right, so we're going to throw a few more birthday slides over here, and then we're going to take a photo. What's it called? Screenshot. Can I get everybody in the room on the count of 3 to make a big, huge smile? Except wait, I'm dropping people out all over the place, and I need to replace. Okay, we got this, we got that, we got this. All right, one more, and all right, we want to do this, and all right. Everybody, a big, huge smile and a happy birthday to Elise. 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Happy birthday, Elise. Happy birthday.
Busy Graham, put your phone down because we got a picture of your phone and say your face. Everybody say cheese. 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Cheese. Happy birthday.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, now Busy Graham, if you want to take a picture, you can do it. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Everybody say cheese for Busy and for Busy's camera. Woo! All All right. I love it. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to remove all those. We didn't actually do that. We're doing it this way. Okay. All right. Going back over here. Elise Bryant, is there anything else you want to say to us before we sing with you again? Look at Elise's little birthday screen happening. I love it.
Yeah, real quick. This is a piece that I wrote. I went to a retreat in Barcelona, Spain last week. And I wanted to make sure I was back here for my birthday. But one of the things that I was working on was my autobiography. And then I realized that I was there to work on a memoir. I didn't know there was a difference between an autobiography and a memoir, but I learned. This is what I'm there for, here to learn. So I just wanted to quickly, if I can pull this up real quick before we run out of time. Yeah. So July 1st, 2025, Barcelona, Spain. You was a sleepy baby. That's what my mother told me on multiple occasions when I slept late or when I got up early and just sat in the armless living room chair staring into space before getting dressed. Yeah, she said, you were so sleepy that I didn't see you for hours after you were born. When your father finally showed up, I threw the Bible at him and said, where's my baby? As the story goes, Daddy went and got the doctor, who came back with Daddy to the room where the doctor got the retrieved Bible thrown at him with the same question. Where's my baby? Like Daddy, the doctor dodged the Bible and said, your baby's sleeping. We didn't want to wake her. Knowing my mother, I'm sure she had a few choice explicatives for him, but this is where my story begins. July 8th, 1951, Harper's Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. Woo! So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember that everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace. I'm going to start the first verse. Everybody with me? Can y'all read it in the chat with me? I'm not afraid of dying, of old age or disease, or in some tragic accident that I could not foresee. I'm not afraid that death might mean my life would be cut short. I am afraid of dying with hatred in my heart. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember, every beat is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace. I'm not afraid of dying in a mighty hurricane, or to leave before my purpose on this earth has been made plain. I'm not afraid that I'll outlive my family and all my friends, but I'm afraid of dying before I make amends. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember that everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. Let me make peace. I'm not afraid of dying before all the world at peace, though my anger at injustice will always need release. Let me speak truth to power with courage and with grace. And let me die knowing that I made the world a better place. So let me make peace with all that I've come to resent. And remember that everyone I meet is heaven sent, hates the poison that we drink when we sit down at anger's feast. Let me get up from that table. let me make peace. Say it again. Let me make peace. Last time. Let me make peace.
Thank you so much, Elise Bryant.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, family.
Yeah, from all of us here in the Daily Antidote of Song, you are an absolute gift. And our day, our week, our month, our next 3.5 years, all made better by your presence, and we're grateful for you. Can we all please give another huge thank you to Elise Bryant? She is the director of the DC Labor Chorus. Let's shout out all of the DC Labor Chorus folks who joined us today. Great to see you all. And to the other new folks in the room, really glad to have you with us. To Busy Graham over there at Carpe Diem Arts Land in Tacoma Park, actually, not the Eastern Shore. And we're really glad we got to hear from you. Another big happy birthday to Elise. Woohoo! Nothing like singing with somebody on their birthday, honestly. What a beautiful thing. And oh yeah, look, there's another great sign. Happy birthday, Elise. So thanks everybody so much for joining today. We're going to take one quick moment to just tell you who's coming up for the rest of this week. So in case you missed yesterday, Phil Hogg sang from Newcastle, UK. It was a great day. Elise Bryant today, of course. Thanks again, Elise. We've got Sunniva Brunel coming in tomorrow from Sweden. Heather Pearson and Kate Munger are going to be doing a sort of co-hosting and co-singing about a project that Kate is working on that Heather is included in. Heather's from New Hampshire. Kate's coming in from California. Annie Patterson coming in from Massachusetts, Sister Lala coming in from Kentucky, and then we'll close out the week with Carolina Borja coming in from Ohio. Another great week here. And it's also Plastic Free July, so we've got a plastic free project going on all month long. You can stay after and hear about it. We're also going to send out an e-news about it. If you're not on our list, please join. And we hope lots of you will join forces with us on the Plastic Free Project. It's just amazing the kind of noise that we can make when we all get together and make noise together. And boy, do we all need to make that noise right about now. So thanks again, everybody, for being here today. Daily Antidote of Song, noon Eastern, every day, right here on this Zoom link, and also anytime after the fact or at the same time live on YouTube. So head over to YouTube and check out any day you've missed. Believe it or not, 1,920 days are almost every one of them available there for watching. So if you have nothing to do for the next 3 years, you could just get started right after we close and have fun. We will hear from you whenever you're done. Yeah. All right. One more big thank you to Elise Bryant. Thank you so much. Great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, family. Thanks to the ancestors who brought our paths together.
Right on. Absolutely. All right. And let's do another big thank you to everybody in the room to here today. Let's say goodbye to all the folks out on YouTube. Thanks, gang, for joining us today. And a goodbye to everybody here in the space. So Busy Graham, the Carpe Diem Arts Summer Camp over there in Tacoma Park, Maryland. Thanks so much for being with us today. Susan in Cincinnati, Ohio, Carolyn in Boise, Idaho, Ruth and Clive in Birmingham, UK, Arlene in Berkeley, California, Sue in Seattle, Diane coming in from Puerto Rico, Athena in Brooklyn, Annette in California, Laris coming in from the UK, Lucy, I think that's Maryland or DC, Silva, Tacoma Park, Maryland, Diana in Victoria, British Columbia, Caroline in DC, Hoda in British Columbia, Sydney in San Francisco, Susan in Tacoma Park, Maryland, Karen in Oregon, Kathleen in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Baba Jim coming in from Maryland, Julie in Ontario, Canada, Bob, Mabel, and a bunch of bears coming in from Massachusetts. That's birthday bears for you. Yeah,
Bears.
I'm moving them over there so you can see them up close and personal. Julie in Ontario, did I say that? Bob in Albany, Kathy in California, Storm in Massachusetts, also all birthdayed up. Aloysius in Massachusetts, Anne in Maryland, Deli in Maryland, Kevin in New Hampshire, and Nancy in Washington State. Kat in Vermont, Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Lynn in Connecticut, Sonia, thanks so much for being with us today. Maybe coming in from the DMV area, Lynn in Connecticut, Maggie in California, Gary in Massachusetts, Curly Tops in Vermont, Linda in California, Cricket in Maryland, Kay in Texas, Fred coming in from Maryland, Robin, don't know where you're from, but we're glad you're here today. Jacqueline, not sure where you're from, but thanks for being here today. And Neil in Boston, thank you so much. To anybody who's new today, please feel free to stay afterwards. We'll say a quick hello to you. And also, if you haven't heard about the Plastic Free Project and you want to hear about it, we're happy to tell you about it afterwards. And to everybody else, we'll see you all tomorrow right here on the Daily Antidote of Song. Lots of love, gang. Ciao, everybody.
Hasta luego. Hasta la vista.